in your pockets and just stare it down, Sicilian style, Frank. All right.
The camera or the dish?
You'll be staring the dish down, I reckon, and I'll be sort of back. I'll probably be back where the light is a little bit and getting the shot. All right. So beautiful. And I'm just going to actually have to raise it because Frank is a little bit higher. So I'm going to go up a bit. So what we've got here is when you're traveling, you can't actually carry sandbags around because that's the extra weight I don't want on the plane. So basically what I've got is this very sexy setup, which is a little bag that I've got, and inside there you can put a couple of drink bottles or something. We've just got a couple of speedlights in here just to be a counterweight, otherwise the whole thing's going to fall over. And then instead of having a sandbag to steady the stand, I just got a bag there. Again, you could have go and buy a couple of kilos of rice or something and use it as a sandbag, and that's easy. So basically I've got a boom situation. The reason I prefer a boom over a light stand is if you've got a light stand, it's always going to be in the frame, but a boom means that you can have the stand out of shot and then boom it in and over, and you've got like a lot more clean space. And I just need to raise this a little bit so that it's just slightly above Frank. All right. So there it is. Make sure we're locked off. We might just bring in another bag just so we've got a bit more weight or something heavier that we can counterbalance that with. What if we just can we lock that, like hook it onto something there, like?
Yeah.
Bit. We'll come right back because I've got my So if I want to make Frank look quite heroic, I want to shoot from slightly underneath. So he's going to look tall and powerful and heroic, and he's going to stare the camera down like a true Sicilian. Only a true Sicilian can look the camera down like this. So this sort of shooting down, everyone looks powerful, and it's a great way. This is the preferred way. This is how I shoot everyone, because everyone looks amazing this way. And he's going to push his face forward a little bit. He's got his arms crossed like that. Just a little thing on body language here. When you get someone to cross their arms, when one hand is covered like this, basically that's not an open body language. So if you've got arms crossed, you try and have them, but both visible, and that just it's just a little slight thing that you notice. So you try and keep the body language open, so it's still powerful, but you always show both hands. And you'll notice that, you'll see that in ads, you'll pick that up a lot now, that you'll see, all right, closed, it's a closed body language. Now Frank is just still powerful, just a little bit more open. Public speaker, good thing to remember when you're on stage. There you go. Because you're pushing the biceps out.
Oh yeah.
Having footy photos? Makes your muscles look bigger? It's a classic.
That reminds me of
all the footy players at it.
around the family table and Dad teaching me that one, like pushing your muscles up like that.
Oh. Yeah. You go look at any footy photo and our team photo, every player will stand there underneath. They'll always have arms crossed, both hands tucked, because they've got it under the gun.
All right, the other thing here is I've got Frank that's a lot high, because I'm lower down, so the angle is actually a lot more extreme than I would expect if we were both on the same level. So I'm going to actually raise my tripod a little bit just to be about at the same height as Frank is from his angle. All right. There we go, that's better. And I'm coming right in. So, first thing I want to do is set up my background. I want to get an exposure for the background. Then I'm adding flash. So I've got to remember that I'm limited to, because I'm shooting with flash, 1/200th of a second. So I think about, how do I want my shot to look? Do I want my background to be sharp, or do I want the background to be out of focus? In this case, I don't want the background to be super sharp because I want Frank to be the hero of the shot. So I'm thinking about, well, an f-stop maybe around f4, f5.6. So because we're in an amazing location, I do actually want to show a little bit of the background. I don't want to blur it out completely because, you know, we could be anywhere in the world. But, you know, I do want to show that we're in Italy, and specifically we're in Sicily. So I'm going to probably shoot at about 5.6 for this, so that I can, all right, and my shutter speed is going to be, and I want to expose for the highlights in the background so that they're not blown out. So if I'm getting, if I get a correct exposure for that, I'm going to take a reading off the brightest point in the background, which will be the wall in behind Frank. I'm going to take a reading of that where the sun is shining on the wall. The brightest point in the spot, I want that correctly exposed. So my first reading is off that, and I'm getting at 100 ISO f5.6 at 200 of a second. And that's going to give me the correct exposure for the background. So you can have a look at that. Okay, Frank is obviously underexposed. My background is correctly exposed. And I actually think it's still a little bright there, so I can drop it down. I can't go any faster with my shutter speed because the flash isn't going to sync. I can go up in f-stop, or I can bring a variable density filter and knock back the exposure on that. Okay, but for now I'm going to stick with this exposure, and now I'm going to just add some light onto Frank's face and build the shot that way and see how that looks. If I don't like how my background is, I can bring a variable density filter in, and I can try.
Bring it down.
Then I'm able to shoot at a lower f-stop. All right. Oh, he loves it. Frank, plant your feet flat on the ground, that's it, and a little bit closer together, that's it. All right. And just come across this way a little bit, that's it. You're just staying in the middle in the light for me. All right, so I'm just getting Frank's, the beauty dish is coming into Frank's head a little bit too much, so I just need to raise it slightly higher. And it's this light is one that you don't pull out when it's your first client, like the first time you've shot someone new, or that you've only got a few minutes to shoot, because you really need to take your time and get the angles right and be tweaking the light. And if you're a bit nervous, you kind of feel like they're wondering if you're incompetent or not. So you just you want to make sure that you've got time, or you spend some time with a dummy head and get it right first. So I actually have to go a little bit higher now. So I'm just going to take this off. Raise it up, block it off, and we can just there we go. Come in a bit closer, Frank. Come a bit closer to the light. A bit closer. A bit closer. There you go. I should be able to just get up and over that. go. All right, so there we go, we've cleared. So as long as you can just clear his head a little bit, even by a couple of millimeters, that's enough. That's all you need, because it's like, obviously it's going to be impossible to retouch it out of his forehead. But that's about where I want it. It's quite low. Yeah, so you can see that it's I'm just exposing for the background. All right, now we're going to add flash. Add in a stop of light. Okay, that's all we need, a stop, and that's going to, you know, and then where it falls off, the fill is just going to be like we've already got the fill, half a stop under. So this is going to be lit, and then it drops off.
So when you're saying a stop of light,
I'm shooting. Yeah, so I'm shooting. My settings now, 100 ISO, f5.6 at 200. Okay. My light reading now. I'm going to use my light meter. I need to be, the reading on his face needs to be f8.
Ah, I see. So that's your stop of light.
My shutter speed at 200 on the light meter, and I make sure that I'm on 100 ISO. So you dial in your ISO, and then I'm going to take a reading. So I need a trigger, basically. So I've got my trigger. It's set to the same channel as the trigger on the flash. And basically I can then use that to fire the flash and take a reading. The light meter, the camera meter reads reflected light off the face, so light that's coming off a subject, right? The light meter tells you what the actual light is, and that's the difference, and that's why the camera gets confused so often, because it's telling you how much light is coming off the subject, but also it's influenced by all the light that's in the background. So my camera is not only reading the light off Frank, but also the bright light that's behind him, taking all that, making a calculation and making a guesstimate. And that's why you usually get a shot that's either underexposed or overexposed, because it depends on how much black's in the shot, how much white's in the shot. This light meter is going to tell you exactly what the light is and exactly the right exposure, and also now it's going to tell me exactly how much flash is in the shot. So first thing I need to do, the flash has turned itself off. Alright, so I've got my settings at, I think I'm at 1/8 of a second. I've got my light meter set to non-chord. Okay, I've got it setting, it's flashing. All light meters are different, so it's just a matter of setting the thing. But I'll hold that up in front of Frank's face, and I'm actually just going to tweak that a little bit. Just slightly, so that it's just hitting him now, that's right. And you can also ask your model, because they're there and they can see when the light's in the right angle. That was, it was tipping up slightly too much, so it was just going to skim him and probably light up here and miss all this area. So, set the non-chord. There we go. So at an 8th power or a 16th power, I'm getting nearly f5.6, which is the same power as what I'm shooting on. So what I can do is actually, I'll take a shot and show you what that looks like. You know, so it's going to balance, basically. So we'll take a shot at that. There we go. It's It's actually enough. That's balancing the light. For Frank's skin tone, that's actually perfect. And look how beautiful the light is.
Wow.
So let's get into, so if I was shooting a female model, I would want to blow the skin tone out. Because it's a male, you actually want to show the character and the detail. So it's somewhere between, I go between half and 1 stop over what my background setting is. So in this case, he looks great like that, and we're seeing the fall off, you know, under his, see the drop off?
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful. Like, you don't need anything added there, but he looks incredible. Bit of a hot spot there, nothing you couldn't like brush back. Yeah, but it's so nice, and we can tweak that. You could just maybe move the light back or ask Frank to just move back a mini amount, but that's actually beautiful. I'm going to get you to take your glasses off, Frank, and just, yeah, that's beautiful. That's great. And I've just, that's it. No flash. So it's just turned itself off, so we're going to turn it on again. I might just, thanks. It's on and off. That's great. And look at that. Look at that beautiful light. And that's the beauty dish.
I love it.
It's fantastic. Stare me down, Frank. Soften your eyes, soften, soften, soften. Think of the dogs. All right. Okay, and then if I wanted this shot and I don't want to have everything in the background, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to zoom out. And let's do this as a 3/4 shot. Frank, put your hands in your pockets. That's it, that's it. Just, yeah. That's it, stare me down. I just need to be just slightly lower. That beauty dish is just getting into his head a little bit, so we just want to make sure that that's cleared. So if I'm slightly lower, just make sure that it clears it. There we go. All right, so it's just coming into frame, but it's out of the way enough. All right, so basically, I've got that shot. I'm happy with the shot. Now all I do is I just take the softbox out of frame entirely. And take a shot. Obviously it's not lit, but then the two get combined together. Your hero shot on top of the shot with the light, the shot with the light on top of the one that I've just done, and then in Photoshop you just brush it out. It'll line up, it'll match up exactly because I haven't moved the camera, and you'll be able to move the light.
So you blend the two?
You put one. I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, but so
this been in or out.
Yeah. So this, yes. But you may as well keep him there because then you can lock on and get the focus exactly the same. So if you're in the country and you want to do a 16:9 Frank panoramic, right? So you've got this beautiful wide shot and your figures like this in the shot, but you want to light them.
Like that
bring
shot
your light, yeah. So you set it up. You got your person there. You bring your light stand. You light them. Don't move anything.
Yep.
Then when you've finished it, take the light out and do a clean shot, clean plate, and then you'll blend the two and you'll be able to remove the light. And so you get these spectacular shots because it's like there's no, otherwise you've got to have the light out of frame, it's got to be miles away and the light is extra
Did you do
hard.
that in Photoshop or
You do it in Photoshop. So turn it right up to full power so that it reaches Frank. And Frank, can you go back to where you were? Can you see, like, what's it on? What power?
Should we just spin it?
Yeah. If you can. So it's at an 8. So let's I'm going to go to full power. I want to have it right back here because I want to show you the difference. You were asking about, like, why is it soft when you're far away? Why is it soft when you're close? And why is it? Do you find that confusing? That
Yeah, you just have to accept it. I think.
but have you experimented with?
Not for a while.
Okay, so you saw that how beautiful that light was, right up there. Okay, I've now moved it right back, Frank. Okay, I'm going to take another reading because I want them to be at the same. So it was f5.6 before. I just want to make sure that I'll get you to fire that on the test button when I. Okay. Again.
Is it recycling?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so just come in a bit closer. We'll just make sure we're at the same, a bit closer. All right, try again. See what I mean? It's a long time. It's a long time. That's full power. That's how long it takes. They're fresh batteries. But did you see when I was at a 16th power? It was like quite quick. Let's try again. Yeah. Okay, so that's about the same setting, but I'll show you the difference in the light.
Can you use your manual power when you're shooting off the hot shoot? If you've got the camera, the flash on the hot shoot?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so you just got to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so did that fire?
No.
Is it we're just waiting for the recycle?
Yeah, it's a long recycling.
Questo è successo? See the difference? That sucks as light. That's just, you may as well be at a party shooting flash on camera.
Yeah.
It's all flat.
It's got no shape
Yeah.
at all because it's just like, it's just lit the whole, it's like boom.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, when we had, and it's harder light.
Okay.
When we had it, there it is there. See the difference?
He's got a jawline.
It's got a jawline.
Oh yeah.
See? But we've given you a jawline. So just get back in there. I'm just going to do a really tight, I'll just get the light back to, what were we? 1.6. 1.8. So. Oh. I'm still slightly under Frank, but I can really get under my beauty dish now from here because I'm off tripod, and I'm just doing a tight headshot now. So I'm at about 100. I'm going to focus on the eyes. That's it. He's staring me down, very strong. That's great. Hold that. Beautiful. Great. Just push your chin down a little bit, push your face forward. That's it. Okay, I like it all. I like the hardness and the toughness. I just need a bit more love in the eyes. I just want you to think about the dogs.
Okay.
Look at that. See the change in the face? Did you see the change in the eyes? That's what you want. That's great. And little Luna, which is Frank's granddaughter. Can you see the softening of the eyes?
Yeah.
That's it. So it's just a simple little instruction like that. And that's beautiful. Oh, we didn't get any flash. So those,
The last one.
we got one before that.
Yep.
So there we are. All right. And then the other thing we can do is just as a final,
See those 3 models that just went past?
3 real models. What were they? Who were they?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're back. You can already see the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Chin down just a little bit.
Adjust anything?
No. So it's the same. We're just reducing the amount of fill.
Okay.
And look at that.
Oh wow.
Before, can you see the shadows? A lot more defined and sculpted. And there we go, just a bit cleaner. We've softened under the eyes, but his face is still really sculpted and it looks incredible. Beautiful, beautiful light. All right?
Amazing.
Okay, do you guys want to have a go with each other?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right. So, Frank, well done. Hard work. How many comfort zones have I pulled you out of?
Good grief. Now
This
I want
day-
to see on the.
You want to see on the big screen. Look at that.
Whoa.
Huh? That's before.
Response you want.